Good morning, geometry. Hopefully your spring break went well. Hopefully your trips to your backyard were great. Mine were pleasant, sitting on a beautiful back porch watching the Wisconsin weather. Um, anyway, hopefully we can get back to a little bit of normal within the next couple weeks or two. I'll try to drop more of these videos. I try to keep them brief. You guys know how I am when I teach. Brief, brief lesson, and then you guys go to it. But today we are focusing on tangents. A tangent is a line that's outside a circle that connects at one point on the circle, much like my beautiful diagram right here on my daughter's whiteboard. As you can see, we have center O in the circle, and that connects to point R. Some things that I want you to pay attention to when doing this lesson is that tangents have a couple special properties that make them kind of unique. So a tangent, for example, if you look at my tangent, I have OR and then I have RT. When they connect, now granted, it doesn't look like it. If you look at my circle, it doesn't look like it connects at one point. But this can only connect at one point in the circle. They form perpendicular lines. Okay, so point O to point R and R to T are perpendicular. Okay, now from past lessons, we should know that if something is perpendicular, that forms right angles. So now we have, looking at my picture, we have two right angles right next to point R. Okay, so we have two 90-degree angles. If I were to connect, let's say, and I'll do that real quick. If I were to connect point O to any point on our tangent, we now have a right triangle. Okay, so if I have, and this is going to be a lot of your work today, a lot of your practice, if you now have this connected, you now have a right triangle. So now, if you have two sides and you're missing one side, you can use our best friend, the Pythagorean theorem, to find the missing side. So just remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find the missing lengths. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Also, if you guys look on pages, let's see here, 589 to 591, you have three new theorems, and I hate to bring up old sayings, but they're all common sense. If you look at the algebra versions, like for example, if you look at theorem 10.10, it says if a line is perpendicular to a radius of a circle at the endpoint on the circle, then the line is tangent to the circle. That just means the reverse of what I just said. So if you have two 90-degree angles and you have a line outside the circle that connects to one point on the circle, it is tangent. One other thing that I want to point out too before I end my short, beautiful video here is that when you have two segments that form an exterior point, so let me do a quick sketch here. Let's call this point B and point C and A. You'll have to forgive my non-straight lines. Doing the best I can with what I have. We now have two segments that are on the exterior of our circle. Now, basic common sense will tell you that line segment B to A and line segment C to A now are both congruent. Okay, so when you have 2 points that connect to one point that are both, what's the phrase I'm looking for? When you have two exterior points that connect to one point, the segments are going to be congruent. Okay? Shouldn't be too complicated from here. There are problems. I don't know. Today's assignment is strictly an IXL assignment. I think it's pretty basic. I thought it would be good to kind of ease you into the whole virtual learning after spring break with an easy IXL assignment. I'm not quite sure how long it will take you, but as always, I will be at my computer till about noon. I did put a due date on the IXL for 9 a.m. tomorrow, but if you get finished with it sooner, send me a screenshot and let me know that you completed it to 85%, and that'll be our work for today. Expect more with tangents tomorrow. I'll probably run through a couple examples with you out of the book, and then I'll set you free to do some work on them. Basically, it boils down to the Pythagorean theorem, which you guys find pretty easy. So that's all I have for today. Five minutes, man. I wish I could be this short-winded in the classroom. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, guys, this is something that is not optional, and it's not my rules. So make sure that you are doing the best that you can to stay on task. I'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye. Stay healthy.